concept, we have to figure out a way to create a bridge between us and the outside world. I'm working with some of the people to try to create a student competition. I have 52 acres in the Catskills, and the idea is to assemble a larger piece. I want about 1,000 acres, and we're going to create a student competition. And the way I envision it, I want to have a main street that has a commerce center, because a lot of the villages up in the Catskill have very little local economy going on. But my thing is that this place will be a retreat for a community for other people to come in, as a means not only to find a wellness and healthcare system that's completely different than anywhere else, but also as a way to enjoy unbelievable, stunning beauty, natural beauty, where people are living in harmony, where everything is green and sustainable, and people are also having that spiritual concept of interdependence.
How do you envision the most economical way to build Gaiaville?
Well, what I'm doing right now is that so far I'm funding everything, right? I don't have any investors. It's not, the business model that I'm trying to create doesn't exist, right? We're trying to do, it's a group effort, it's a community, it's more like a cooperative kind of thing. So and the way I see it is that the land in Gaiaville does not belong to anyone. It belongs to the planet. It's the concept of the Native American that the land belongs to the Great Spirit. So the setup that I'm ideally moving toward is to have the land put into a community land trust. And the improvements, of course, if you buy in the community, will be yours, but the land does not belong to you. The concept as well is that I'm now working with attorneys to set up a not-for-profit arm of this effort so that I can seek out funding and help to create this. More importantly, the effort also is open source, and that part is extremely important. I'm not doing, I've talked to people before, professionals, people in our field, people who are professors at universities and from my alma mater, and they're all telling me every time I mention what I'm trying to do, they're like, oh my God, this is so ambitious. No, I don't think it's ambition. There's a difference between ambition and visionary. I think the effort is visionary. I'm not trying to create something that I'm going to hoard for me. What I'm trying to create really is something that I will bequeath, that will be giving away. So for me, the idea, there's a big difference between the two. So I have this idea of the open source is that whatever concept that we come up with, that we create, and I'm sure there'll be multi-stage of adjustments. We can, if somebody wants to create it in South Africa, somebody wants to create it in Ecuador or in Norway, they are welcome to it. I will give them freely everything that we have to help them create it. Because in the end, if enough of these communities are created around the planet, Gaia and the planet win. It's not about me trying to maintain something. I'm here for another, I don't know, another 30, 40 years, and after that I'm dead. So why am I going to try to hoard something? I'm more concerned about the footprint that we're leaving behind. I'm looking around me, and I'm seeing all the young children that are growing up, and I'm seeing what we as humanity, since we became sentient, what we have done collectively. The knowledge base for us to do better exists, but it's not being brought together. And this is what this effort is about, is trying to bring everything together so that we can create and make a real difference collectively. We have the understanding. I don't think, for example, depending on how the educational system is working out, it may be that the classroom geometry is not a rectangle. It may end up being something else. So I need the designers to talk to the educators I need uh, uh, the wellness and healthcare people to discuss with the designers what they need, and etc. I need everybody to be sitting in the same room and have a conversation to discuss exactly what their needs are, so that we can create a design and architecture that is truly about the way, not only in terms of geometry, but in terms of idea and concept, the way that we could connect to the planet in a manner that will not deter from it, but that will add to it.
Have you had any of these conversations take place before?
Yes, we have been doing every year a Gaiaville Inception Conference. And what I have done is that I have invited experts in on these various fields to come up and sit down and have a conversation. We've had them upstate, we had not them here in New York City before, and these people come in and they offer for 2 days, for a weekend. It's like a team think event where all of these ideas are being discussed. It's very, very exhilarating and very, very powerful to hear these experts speak. And it's not just the expert, but it's the layperson as well, coming in and giving their concept to the expert, asking questions and saying, I don't understand this. Why would this work? And then all of a sudden there's an input from somebody, and then a light bulb moment happens.
An aha moment.
Exactly. And all of a sudden we realize, well, we can do something else. Let's move in that direction. Right now, what I'm having, I probably will plan something for the summer, a conference for the summer. But what we're doing now is that the subcommittees, the core group, I call them the Gaiaville founders, the subcommittees are meeting. So there are people who are meeting, discussing with the educators how to create the educational system. I have 3 physicians and healers and herbalists who are talking about the wellness and healthcare. I have people working on trying to set up the competition for the student competition and writing the write-up for that. I have individuals talking together with economists about the commerce part. So we have all these subcommittees that are working, and it's a volunteer-based effort. And I'm asking for people who are interested in this, who see this vision, to come and share their effort with us, because in the end, whatever we get, we're giving it.
And it's all beneficial to the planet.
Exactly.
How are you reaching sponsorship?
Well, right now, it's interesting you talk about sponsorship. My idea of having sponsors is that as we advance a little bit further in the project, because we're really, at this point, still conceptualizing. Once I have an idea and the student competition is done, and we have an idea of what the shape of because we're going to have townhouses on the main street, but we're going to have individual homes as well, so there'll be different typology. So once I have an idea of what it looks like, I'm going to approach as much as possible a lot of the corporations, green corporations, and ask them for sponsorship. But what they're getting out of it is this. It's the opportunity for them to implement their technology for an entire village. Not one building, for an entire village. So we're giving them an unbelievable showcase, to showcase their technology. So that's the idea. That's where we're going. And more importantly, the exchange that I want for this is that I want to make sure that the individuals who are living in the community are trained in the maintenance of the technology. Because it's important, if you're living in the Catskills, and I've had this property there for 6 years, the local community there are financially devastated. If you're not working for the post office, you're not driving a bus, or you're not working for the educational system, there is no jobs.